not just tactically, but kind of more from an attitude standpoint too?
Yeah, I mean, from halftime on, what we were saying internally is just that we were going to have to get stops if we wanted to get the game. Otherwise it was going to be, a scoring fest, first to 140 type thing. And, it took us a while to get there. We didn't start the third quarter there, and obviously we didn't start the fourth quarter there. But once we got it going, we got into a nice defensive rhythm. We were really active, really helping each other, really engaged. And I think it was a 16-2 run that was really the difference in the fourth there.
You all generated so many layups. You just, given that that's your identity, you can look. Every team knows that that's where you want to get to. How remarkable is it to see your team be able to just do that possession after possession?
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that Portland's a team. They've got potency scoring wise, but it's a team that you can get to the paint on, and they're good in the initial help a lot of the time. But you've got to be stubborn about getting there, and if you are, then you can get there. And I think we had 70 in the paint tonight to their like 48 or something, and that was huge for us offensively.
And then just your thoughts on the minutes that Lou gave you tonight, and he certainly had a great close to the game.
Yeah, I mean, they speak for themselves. He was in a good rhythm offensively, and then the work he did on Lillard was incredible. And it's especially, Lillard got it going early. He had 20 like before you could blink your eyes, and it's really hard when a guy's already got it going. Lou didn't play the first quarter. We were trying to keep him around 20 minutes, and for him to come in and do the job he did on him after the guy already got a rhythm and already got some confidence going was pretty incredible. It was a hell of an effort.
Here's Austin Valley Sports. It just seems like, especially over the past couple of games, you guys have been really good at responding to runs just within the flow of the game. How have you seen this group kind of take steps forward over these past couple of games?
Yeah, we're just trying to, there's runs in the game, obviously, and on the road especially, you've got to be able to kind of weather the storm, and we want to be a team that weathers the storm together. And I thought we did that tonight. It was 112-103. I think Giddey hit a three from Shai. It was a big play to just kind of stabilize the game. The game can get away from you in those situations, and I thought we relied on each other, on this road trip and really all season. When things get hard, we have to band together, and this is a group that's done that.
You mentioned the defense also in the fourth quarter. Jalen had a couple of big steals there, 3 steals from him tonight, 6 in LA. Just what are you seeing from him on the defensive end?
Well, he's what he's learning that he didn't have earlier in the season is the positioning and kind of the rotations. Defense in the NBA is very predictable. It's very patterned. And so once you learn the pictures, it's something that you can now start to anticipate. And he's an anticipatory player, and he's got great length. And now that he's starting to learn the pictures, he's getting to the right places. And then when you add his anticipation and his length, he's starting to really make plays in the help.
Are you sensing that he's being more aggressive now that he's got those pictures and that anticipation starting to build for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what anticipation does, is like you start to see what's about to happen. Whereas early in the season, and rightfully so, he doesn't know what's going to happen. He's reactive. And so he's just, that's what experience does. That's we talk about growing through experience. That's just an example of it.
This was a really close game, played within 10 points almost through 3 quarters, and then they go on that 7-0 run just what you call timeout with 10 minutes left, and then you guys go on a 35-17 run to end the game. Is this just another step for this young group to respond like that on the road against a pretty good team?
Yeah, I mean, I thought what I was impressed with tonight was, the other night against LA, I thought we had a pretty sustained focus throughout the game. Defensively tonight, offensively we had great attacks, and we kind of played in that rhythm all night. But defensively, I thought we weren't where we needed to be a lot of the game, and you can correct it the next day in film, or you can correct it in practice, but it's best when you can correct it in the game. And I thought that's what we did tonight. We got a little tighter as the game went on, and that's what won us the game. Is we strung together stops, got us out on the break, and that's what I was most impressed with tonight. Was just our ability to course correct in real time.
Shai had 44 on 16 shots, career high 18 free throws. Had the shot chart of the center basically. What do you? I know it's not your job to to draw something up against him, but what's it like having a guy like that where sometimes it seems like there's nothing the opponent can do?
Yeah, and I think he was incredible tonight. That's some line, crazy line. But the thing that I respect about how he's playing is like he was in some rhythm tonight, passing too. And every time they overcommitted to him, he made him pay. And that's what great players do. That's what great teams do, is they create dilemmas. And he was a dilemma tonight because every time they doubled, he was off it. He and Isaiah had a great rhythm in the late game stuff. Him and Josh had a great rhythm early. He found cutters when they were doubling and we were cutting. The Lou 3 in the corner was off of a double team that it wasn't his assist, but he just moved it out of the double team quickly. And that was what was impressive tonight, is he's just literally getting wherever he wants. But the minute they tried to overcommit to him, he was making the right play, and that allowed our whole team to have a great offensive night.
Was this a good road trip or a great road trip? You played in 3 tough spots.
I don't know, Steve. That's kind of a weird question, Steve. I don't know how to classify. It was great. Yeah, we had a great road trip. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. These are tough games against good teams on the road. I thought for different reasons, every team on the trip had a lot of hunger, and that's what I was impressed with as well tonight. Like, we understood we beat this team twice in December. They're playing for their lives, and we knew we were going to face a sharp, desperate team. And we were, that they brought their A game tonight. They were ready to play Portland. And, I thought our ability to kind of weather storms and take punches and just hang in there, was impressive throughout the trip. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Josh, just what's the feeling like out on the floor as you're kind of overwhelming them the way that you did in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, they went on a run, 7-0 run to start the fourth, and we called, a timeout. And then I think from there, we really changed the game. We came out that timeout ready to play. We executed both ends of the floor. We caused a lot of turnovers. Lou did a great job on Dame, especially in that fourth. Made him take tough shots, forced him to turn the ball over. So our defense was really good after that 7-point stretch they had. We were locked in and ready to go, and our offense took care of itself. Like it usually does, I think, when we're locked in on the defensive end. A lot of the times we got a lot of playmakers down the other end of the floor where that's not going to be an issue for us. But we can't pick and choose when we want to play defense. Portland was a desperate team tonight. We're in very similar positions, so this was a big win for us.
You all seem to really maintain the offensive stamina in the sense of like playing your identity, your brand. What does it take to actually do that for the 48 minutes the way you were and keep your foot down?
Yeah, it's not easy. Teams can get rattled. I think, especially when a team like that goes on a run, the crowd's into the game. They're going up 7 with 10 minutes left in the fourth. They've got all the momentum. So it would have been easy for our group to go into our show, go away from what's been working for us. But I think we stood up, we accepted the challenge, we executed both ends of the floor, and came away with a big win. But I think it's credit to our group. As I said, we could have easily folded, thrown the towel in after that run they had, and Dane was heating up, Simons, those guys were getting going. But we stood tall and took on the challenge.
Yeah, you kind of addressing like the mental side of that. Physically, it's the end of a long, tough road trip. What did you notice just about the way you guys kind of ran through the finish line physically in this one?
Yeah, it is. Tough road trip, obviously. We played 3, at this point in the season, desperate teams. And I think we obviously, didn't play how we should have in Golden State, but 2 big wins against LA and Portland. Giving us momentum, going into the break. So happy with the last 2. Obviously, the Golden State one didn't go how we wanted it to, but overall, a good road trip tonight. We finished strong. We ran through the line. Got a day off tomorrow, so I think guys were happy about that. But no, we definitely ran through the finish line tonight.
Josh, you guys had to respond to a couple of runs tonight. You were down by 10 in the first half, and then that run to start the fourth quarter as well. The last game you had to manage a lot of runs as well. What is this team learning about kind of managing those runs that teams go on in the middle of the game?
Yeah, that's what the game is. It's a game of runs. We made ours, they made theirs. I think, as I said, we never got rattled, especially in that fourth quarter when they went up 7. The crowd was involved. Guys were heating up for them, and we called that first timeout. And I think out of that we responded, the way we needed to. So yeah, our guys didn't get shook. We stood up tall and accepted and embraced the challenge. And as I said, this was a tough place to play. The crowd was loud. They had a lot of guys that could make plays, and our defense stood tall in that last quarter, and we made some big plays.
And just what was it like having having you back in the lineup for you guys tonight?
Great. I mean, you guys see it. It changes our defense and our offense so much. What he does on the floor. I mean, obviously, he's on a restriction, but the job he did on Dame, particularly in that second half, shows why he's the best perimeter defender in the league. He gets it done. Did it on both ends of the floor tonight. Made some really big shots for us, big plays. So he was huge, and it's great to have him back in the lineup.
Josh, what do you think of that guy's night?
Yeah, it was nice. Doing it all from three, getting to the line, which is what he's done. Such a good job at this year. When they were trapping, getting off it early. We were playing 4-on-3, so it was a big time performance. This was a big win for us. He's obviously the head of the snake of what we're doing, and when guys around him can play the way they did tonight, I think this team has a very bright future. And I think late in games when they're trapping him, getting the ball out of his hands, it's up to us other four guys on the floor to be able to make plays, step up, and a lot of the time it's going to be a 4-on-3 situation because two guys are with him. So guys did that tonight. Lou, Dub, Isaiah made some big shots. So guys stepped up and took on the challenge tonight.
Not game related, but just wanted to get your thoughts on a couple longtime teammates in Bays and Muscala getting traded.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously sad to see guys go, but as we all know, the NBA is a business. It's how this thing goes. But yeah, anytime it is a weird feeling seeing players leave that you've been playing with. But it's a business, and that's how this game goes.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
You're right. It's been a minute. Yeah.
How did it feel the way that you all kind of overwhelmed them in the fourth quarter? You forced 7 turnovers as a team.
It felt good. I felt like we did that as a team. We all figured it out. We knew where it was going, and we just did a good job. Just being in the paint and forcing them to pass the ball outside and shooting tough shots.
The Blazers know that Shai wants to get to the rim, and yet somehow he lived there all night. As a defender, what is it about him that, even though everybody knows what's coming, he can still get there?
I don't know. I don't know. I actually have no answer. I don't know what to say about that. But he's really aggressive. He gets to the paint and he really gets to anything he wants. He's really good at drawing fouls, and that's the key right there.
And this was a little bit of a different role for you with the restriction and coming back from injury. But what does that kind of feel like for you to get the chance to sort of be a defensive closer tonight, the way that you were, and you could kind of strap in and go get the game that way?
Yeah, I always got to stay ready, and got to listen to the medical staff, and they knew that I just came back from an injury, so I couldn't really go the way that I usually go. But I just had to stay ready, and I feel like every time I'm on the court, I got to play good and do everything for my teammates, and I just feel like we just did a great job as a team, really getting this win.
How did it feel just walking back out onto the floor for the first time?
Oh, it felt great. It felt great. It's been a long time. I missed out on probably 5 or 6 games, and it's good to be back with the guys. It's so much fun, being on the court and being on the bench and having to cheer for them. But at the same time, it was great. It was great.
And not only just coming back tonight, but your first defensive assignment is Damian Lillard. I mean, did you feel like you just had to go right back into did you feel like you were right back in the flow there?
Yeah, just right back to it. I felt like every game that I've played in the NBA, I always had to get ready for a big matchup, and today was just another one. And he's a great player, and I just had to be ready for him.
I know it was injury related, but you hadn't come off the bench before since your rookie season. What was that? Was that kind of a strange feeling?
Yeah, it was different. But at the same time, I've done it before. My rookie year is a long time, but I've done it before, and I just gotta listen to the medical staff, and they've been doing a good job with me. Just doing my rehab and getting me back on the court. So I was just ready.
What's the plan moving forward as far as kind of working yourself back in?
Really just listen to them. They really tell me what to do, and my job is really just stay ready. Yeah.
And I asked Josh and Jay this, but just wanted to get your thoughts on Bays and Mike Muscala. They've been your teammates for a long time.
Yeah, they're my brothers. I feel like they helped me grow, as a player and as a person. Mike and Bays has been with me since I got into the NBA. Me and Bays got in at the same time, so they're my brothers, and I'm still gonna stay in touch with them. And I'm just happy that they're in a good place. Thank you.
Shai, 44 points on 16 shots, pretty absurd efficiency. Just talk about your night and just how you were able to sort of relentlessly get to the rim.
Yeah, shot a lot of free throws tonight for sure. That helps. But yeah, I played in my comfort zone tonight. I tried to put pressure on the defense a lot, and then make the right basketball play from there. But yeah, I just tried to be aggressive, and things went my way tonight.
They started the fourth quarter on a 7-0 run.
Mhm.
You checked back in earlier than usual, and you guys really dominated that last 10 minutes. What kind of flipped for you there?
We really tried to get stops, and throughout the game we had a little bit, like we had some spurts of it, but we didn't really string a lot of stops together, and it was really a shootout until that moment. And then once we strung stops together, we continued to play the same way offensively, and we were able to get out to a big lead.
You get that crazy pro hop, gather dribble, arm goes in a full circle, and finishes in a dunk. Had you ever? I don't know if we've seen that from you. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, I have. I've done that before. I actually work on that in the summertime. I just hadn't got to it in the game. When I'm out there, it's all instincts. I don't even know what I'm about to do. When I'm about to do it, just happens.
And last thing for me, just wanted to, same question to Josh, just get your thoughts on losing a couple of longtime teammates in days in this playoff.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, being so close to those guys, especially Bays. Bays is really like a brother to me. It sucks. It's never fun. We have such a close-knit group. It's tough when you lose a guy, and you have to play against them on the other end of the court. But we have Dario coming. He'll help for sure. That'll be fun. And then we still got a lot of really good basketball players on this basketball team. I'm still as excited about our future. But yeah, it's just tough losing those personalities, more so like person-wise and friendship-wise. But we've been so close. We'll continue to keep in touch, and hopefully we stay as close as we are now. Well, it's the business, it's the tough part, but we love it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Shai, you mentioned the defense in the fourth quarter, and you guys really started to tighten up. What flipped for you guys that allowed you to start being so effective on that defensive end?
We tried to make Dame especially play in the crowd. He was pretty comfortable for the most part of the night. Obviously a really dynamic player, a tough cover. When we made him play in the crowd, we were able to turn him over a little bit, make the other guys play, make decisions, and we did pretty good at that.
Coach gave you guys a lot of credit for being able to course correct in the middle of the game like that,
Mhm.
being able to tighten up defensively. What are you guys learning in terms of how to course correct just like that in real time, rather than having to wait until watching film the next day?
Right. Yeah. I think it speaks to our maturity. A lot of guys on this team have been on the team the past couple years, and we're starting to figure it out. And I think that's what the best teams do. They have a problem and they fix it, like you said, in real time, and make adjustments throughout the game and figure out how to win games. I think we're getting better and better at that every night.
Shai, just a little different role for Lou tonight, given that he's coming back from injury. Is there any better situation than having him kind of be able to put his helmet on in the fourth quarter and kind of go be the closer?
Yeah, the medical staff and the coaching staff played it perfectly, I think, tonight. Not playing him in the first quarter, and then it kind of allowed us to use him when the game got tight, when we really needed him, and he was ready to go. Well played by them.
Anybody else?
Smooth.
Thank you.